When you need a mortgage, don't stress at all. Just tune right in and give these guys.
Good morning, YouTube. Today is Tuesday, March 17th. Happy St. Patty's Day and happy surprise snowstorm. What is going on, boys?
Happy St. Patty's Day, boys.
Merry freaking Christmas, dude. It is insane out there. It's heavy. It's thick. It came down furious. I don't know have any more adjectives for it other than we got 4 inches here in Kennedy Township.
Be happy you weren't in Marquette yesterday because boy, oh boy, it looked rough.
How much they end up getting? I mean, I know our buddy Jet couldn't fly on the jet, so.
Yeah, like 2 feet, I think, something like that. Anthony's got his national holiday. Not really, but he's looking like a St. Patty's Day guy today.
Hey, you gotta represent a little bit on St. Patty's Day. It's still too early for the green beer, but we got work to do today, so that might not happen. So, gotcha. Yeah, I'm sure Pittsburgh celebrated, even though the power's out all over the city and a little bit of a disaster zone. But we'll get through it here, right? We had a nice calm world of mortgages from September to early March. And ever since early March, it seems like we had a little bit of an upheaval. There's things changing, rates are changing, gas prices are changing, snowstorms are coming. So when you hear us talking here on Amchatter for months at a time that it's a good, solid market to get off the fence and get into it, it's not always going to get better. The grass is not always greener, Tom. And we have plenty of buyers that were sitting here just waiting for something a little bit better. And now they're throwing their hands up in the air, feeling lost a little bit.
Crying wolf, just crying wolf again, because literally rates have ticked up and not even a lot. They've only gone up by about 0.25% in most cases. And that puts them up on average a little over 6%. But they're still great. I mean, buyers need to hop off the fence because there's no saying that these rates are going to 5%. They could absolutely go to 6.5% this summer because not one of us has a crystal ball, and neither do the people that are making the call for the rates, unfortunately. So it's just a whole game of world economics as well as United States policies and U.S. economics, the stock market, the bonds, the treasury. So there's a whole mix of things going into this, and no one can predict where we're going. But we can control the time right now and where the rates are right now currently.
And that's why we are getting into our topic today of recasting. We're not going to dive into it quite yet, but recasting is going to help those homeowners who currently own a home maybe get off the fence quicker, get into that new home, get it done before their house is sold. To take advantage of the market currently.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to affordability is what it comes down to. I mean, we talk about affordability all the time. Clients might not want to buy that specific home at the payment that it could be without, additional down payment, and if they have a house to sell, it's going to be a great option for them. We've had this program forever, and I think it has to be out there a little bit more.
So let's talk about realtors. If you have a buyer, they currently live in their home, all right? They eventually are going to sell their home and have a lump sum, but we're not paying attention to those funds at this time. They have other funds set aside that they can get in with minimum down, right? They're going to buy this house with 5% down. Their goal is to get to that 20% number, but they don't have those funds yet. Those funds are going to come from when they sell their house in a couple months. But just like Anthony said, they can get into the home with 5% down, but that 5% down payment they have is not really optimal for their life goals. Their optimal payment is getting that 20%, but some buyers think, okay, well, I have to wait until I sell my house because sure, I can put a lump sum towards the principal, but that's only going to pay my loan off quicker. I can't handle this payment for 30 years. But that is the beauty of the recast.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, once they sell that property, after closing, they can take that lump sum of their net equity and apply that directly to the principal balance, which will re-amortize that loan over the original term, the original interest rate that they closed at, to also lower their monthly payment.
And Tom, now there is a caveat to recasting. There's a time period generally buyers have to wait, right? But long term, when you're able to put that lump sum and re-amortize the payment, some people look at it as mortgage magic.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you make the 6 payments and you're into that almost about, it's about 7 months, pay the small fee to the investor. They will do that in, poof. You could lose $300-$400 a month off of your payment, which then makes everything more affordable for you. The reason, I mean, you might get some questions like, hey, why don't they just do a home equity or bridge loan? You can't just magically do those types of loans and use the equity. You have to qualify for it too. And not everybody makes $150,000, $200,000 a year to hold 3 mortgages. So, you can't just take equity out and buy the new one if you don't qualify for all the homes. I think a lot of times real estate agents think like, oh, they're going to sell it anyway, so we're not counting it. But they have three mortgages, which could total up over $5,000 depending on the thing. So yeah, not everybody can afford that. That's a little extreme.
Yes, and this is the perfect plan. That, okay, I got enough to get into the home, not enough to make it the optimal payment, but I expect my current house to sell quickly. We can make that happen. Let's not wait until May or June when school is out and everyone is out there shopping. Let's get in now in March and April and solidify that new home before the masses come back and you have all those multiple offers. So this is, I feel like every time we talk recasting, everyone starts talking refinancing. Completely different. This is not a refinance.
Not even close, actually.
Not even close. You're not changing your loan. It's the same old loan. You're not changing interest rates. It's just re-amortizing the payment. But like Tom said, if you're going to knock potentially hundreds of dollars off of your payment a month, it gets back to that affordability number that we're talking about, and that's going to make your life way more optimal. Maybe that covers the car payments or whatever that may be, and you're not stressing out. Or you just bought the new home and you have the same mortgage payment that you already had and you're used to.
Yeah, 100%. It's a great way for people to get into a house and then make it cheaper later just by getting through that initial step, because we know how hard it is to get into certain school districts around this area. So it's such a big advantage for those people that, might not be able to do the bridge loan, but this is just a great alternative as well for them.
And everyone wants to talk about how expensive homes are and how the housing prices are. Well, that flips to your advantage when you're selling a house, and sellers are getting more from the sale than they ever thought was humanly possible. So again, if you have those clients on the fence, show them that sale and what they're going to net from that sale. And if they can move now and recast later, you're just lining everything up for that home seller to get into the market now.
Yeah, I mean, it's 100%. I mean, we always say it all the time. It's very important that we work as a team to help these buyers, and giving them the net proceeds estimate for what they'll get from the sale to give us an idea on the financing end of how to show that strategy to them of what their payment could look like after they do that is going to be very important in the whole process, because if it's not affordable now, but it could be affordable in a few months, many people will actually take that jump rather than waiting. If you do wait, then you're paying more for the property. So, get in now before, it's too late.
And it is all about that bottom line for the buyer. It doesn't matter what the purchase price is. If they're putting a large down payment, then their loan amount is well below that purchase price because they just sold their home and made quite a nice chunk of change off of it. That is what's helping that buyer. That's what allows you to get into that second home because you have the bigger down payment from the sale.
Yes, sir. Spot on. This is a great little backdoor mortgage hack.
So don't wait around. Don't wait for your home to sell if you have other funds. If not, sometimes just sell the home and make it a contingent offer. Keep this market going. Have a great St. Patty's Day. And we'll see you guys Friday.
Later, boys.
Tom, Ryan, and Anthony, oh, they know best.